Peacemaker episode 5, baby. What is up, gentlemen and ladies? And by ladies, I mean the 3% of my audience that is women. What is going on? Guys, you already know I'm going to go through the story points, the positives, the negatives. We're going to see how this is. Right off the bat, I'm between a 6 and a 7 for this episode, to be completely honest. This is, I don't know. There's just not a lot that happens in these episodes. So when it comes to like, oh, how did I feel at the end of it? The fact that I can summarize this entire episode's plot in like 2 sentences is just, let's just get into it. All right, so guys, here are the story points. So every episode starts with a flashback. This one, we get a flashback to Rick Flag Jr.'s funeral. So Harcourt and Rick Flag Sr. are there. Rick Flag Sr. is like, I'm gonna get that son of a bitch. And then Harcourt is like, I will help you get that son of a bitch. And then it goes to present day, where Harcourt has decided to rat Peacemaker out to Argus. But she did actually send a key word, which was like a secret word of like, don't actually come to this meeting, you know, because it's like a trap or whatever. He comes anyway just to ask her if the little, you know, hot and funky time they had on a boat meant anything to her. She basically says piss off, because she essentially has these just like emotional attachment issues. And then he's like, all right, bitch. Then he runs off. Argus starts going in on him. Harcourt comes in because she doesn't want him to die, because he is about to die. Because there's this like Latina cyborg chick, and she goes and she's like, I'll kill him. But then Harcourt's like, don't. And then she jumps in, does a little flip, knocks him out. And then next part, Argus, Rick Flag Sr. officially has Peacemaker in his grasp. So they bring Peacemaker to this interrogation room. He's like, Rick Flag Sr.'s like, turn off the cameras. They do that, and then he just beats the shit out of him. Peacemaker does not fight back. We actually see Flurry. I'm pretty sure, I forget if that's his name. But we see after Rick Flag is like, turn off the cameras, we can see that Flurry is kind of like, he's not vibing with it, which I love Tim Meadows' character so much, and I really need there to be like a whole arc for this guy, like genuine. And then essentially Harcourt explains to Economos, you know, what she did, why she did it. So I'm at the end of last week's episode, man, I was hating Harcourt, and I am still kind of hating her, because it's just like, good Lord. She was like a kind of a prick in the last one, but it was like, oh, a lovable prick. And this one, she's just like depressed the whole time. It's like, holy cow. Like, this is the attitude I would have expected her to have in the first season. But for some reason in this one, she's like more mad at Peacemaker than she was in the first season. For essentially because he killed Rick Flag Jr., who she was banging, but she was like, he was my only friend. But yeah, it's weird. I just don't know exactly how to feel about it. Anyways, next up we have this god tier Eagly finale, boys. Eagly faces up against Michael Rooker's character. Basically, and we find out that Eagly is indeed a prime eagle, which is pretty insane. He summons a bunch of eagles to attack him, and it's like god tier, absolutely god tier. After this, Chris finally decides, after what Harcourt said to him, that he is going to go to Earth 2 and just live out his days over there, because it's obviously a lot better. But he leaves the portal for the 11th Street kids to like turn into Argus to, you know, get their jobs back. But at the end of the episode, they decide to go and get him. So that is it. That is the whole episode. And yeah, I mean, like I said, not a lot really happens in this one, because from the end of the last episode, he was at this point where he's like, I don't know if I want to go or not. And then at the end of this one, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go to the other dimension. So it's like, yeah, you know, you have that development, and that's great. And we get we do get some god tier moments. Economos, the GOAT, saves Peacemaker like once an episode. He saves him here from getting killed by Rick Flag Sr. by booking him so that he's in the system so they can't just kill him. So you know, you have cool moments like that. All the 11th Street kids, especially Adebayo, dude, her conversations, every part that she's in, I'm so happy with how they did her writing, because she was definitely a character where if they weren't careful, they could have definitely ended up in the she has nothing to do this season category. But being Chris's best friend, they have some of the best, most impactful conversations, and I am so pumped for that. I cannot say the same for Vigilante, though. My boy is not in this season at all. He is only here for animal fun facts, and you know, it was kind of funny the first time, not really funny the third time, you know. So now here's where I'm excited. Episodes 1 through 5 are the ones that they show to the press. Everything outside of that, no one has seen them. No one even knows the title. Normally at the end of each episode, they show the title for the next episode. They'll do like a next time on Peacemaker, and they do that. They basically just show the 11th Street kids going into Earth 2 and like confronting Peacemaker, and then that's it. But no episode title. So I'm really interested to see where they go from here. We do also see the Ultimate Trio once Peacemaker's in the other dimension. They defeat the kaiju from Superman. Pretty cool. Not the exact one. I think it's just supposed to be like a copy, you know. But I thought that was really cool. So, and again, I want to explore this dimension. Get out. Stop with the Dimension 1. I'm good. We got all the info we need. We had Rick Flag go all hog style on Chris. That's fine, right? I'm very pumped for 6 through 8, but yeah, there's definitely a little bit of wheel spinning in this episode as well. Not nearly as much as episode 3, you know, it's not nearly as bad as that. But let's go into positives first. Now, the positives that I wrote down, Eagly, an absolute highlight, the most hype part of this episode. Oh my word. Michael Rooker's character, he shoots down an eagle. Very sad. You think it's Eagly. All of a sudden, a million eagles start coming out. And then Eagly his eyes start glowing. This eagle symbol that we saw in the last episode of Michael Rooker's like forehead just starts like shining behind Eagly. Then he starts sending all the eagles down to like just slash him up. It's like, it's so sick. I love Eagly. Again, Economos, the absolute legend. Economos and Adebayo are such amazing parts of this season. They're constantly doing good stuff. Hardcore is frustrating. Vigilante is underused, but I'm so glad that at the very least Adebayo and Economos are still the absolute goats. Let's see, aside from that, yeah, as usual, Adebayo and Chris, their conversations are perfect. Her sort of trying to talk him out of going to the second dimension. I always loved stuff like that. Last thing for the positives, just the writing in general. I think in terms of like the drama, right? And so this is kind of a weird thing because in the first season, I think that season works so well because of how funny it is. This season, we're pulling back the humor a little bit, and I can respect it. However, it does feel like a little bit is missing because, yes, we did take that humor and we put it to other characters like Flurry. Is it Flurry? I keep forgetting his name. And just like other characters in general. But in terms of characters like Chris being more serious, I think it's done incredibly well. I think Peacemaker going through this existential crisis, you know, we see his point of view so incredibly well. We see Adebayo's point of view so incredibly well. It's just done amazingly. Not to mention the whole fight between Rick and Chris in the interrogation room it's frustrating, but it's in a writing is so good. I'm supposed to feel frustrated. You know what I mean? Like it's good. That's what I'm supposed to feel. Because he's not fighting back, and it's just Rick being this ass. Dude, I want Rick Flag Sr. to die in this series. I want him to die because he's just this like pig who will not. No, I get it. He's pissed because Peacemaker killed his son. But dude, every time we see this guy, he's like, he killed my son. he killed my, I'd suck 1,000 dicks before I let that man get away. It's like, holy cow, man. All right, on to the negatives. So I wrote this at the beginning of the episode, how I am just super sick of Harcourt. I understand her situation sucks, but they just keep milking that shit. Not to mention she's just so unlikable this season. So, and like I said, I wrote that at the beginning of the episode. I do still think that sticks. That really sticks, right? Because her whole entire attitude is just so stuck in the Rick Flag Jr. part. Like, yeah, I understand. I understand what her character's going through. You know, it's tough. She just lost her job. So, you know, it could be explained like, oh, well, that's the reason that she's pissed and this Rick Flag stuff is coming up. It's because it's all been piling up on top of her. And I get that. But just her attitude, it's got to change. And I think it is. I think episodes 6 through 8 are really going to show a difference where you're going to be like, yo, Harcourt. But yeah, I don't know. In this episode, at the very least, before it was revealed that she like tipped him off to not show up to the sting, I was like, oh my word, she gotta go. She gotta go. But no, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And last two things. This kind of goes for the season overall so far, episodes 1 through 5. I really hate to say it. This honestly could have been like 5 or 6 episodes for this whole season. Like episodes 1 through 5, I feel like 4 and 5 could have been one episode. 2 and 3 could have been one episode. You know, they're just so short because not a lot is happening in general. Because again, to summarize everything that happened in this, he steps out of the portal and he's like, should I go back? And at the end of this episode, he's like, yes, I will go back. So it's like, you know, there is great character development. There are things that are happening, but just progress in the story isn't really happening. Progress in characters, absolutely, and I think that's great. And James Gunn even said in a podcast, you know, with TV shows, the goal is the characters. Because you can have a whole episode where they're not doing anything, but their characters are evolving. And as much as I agree with that, you also have to think about how many episodes do we have here? Are we going to be able to keep the retention span? Because I could see people falling off at a certain point. Honestly, I think the best way to watch this, if you're curious, I think this is the type of show where you wait until, at the very least, all the episodes, maybe 7 of 8 episodes are out, and then just binge it. Because they're only like 30 minutes. Like, these are short-ass episodes, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could combine some of these to be longer episodes, keep us more invested. There's no reason for this to be a show that goes on for 8 weeks. Aside from, you know, they want you to keep your HBO Max subscription, right? But it's like, I don't know. I don't understand. But anyway, guys, I'm rambling on too much. This is, I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was all right. I thought it was above average. It was good. It's just nothing really happens. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Catch me next week for episode 6, whatever it's called. I don't know. But I'm really excited to go see where we go from here. So I'll be seeing you then. Bye-bye.